Hello, everyone. Let us greet from Batumi. At the same time, we are representing Batumi Same Maritime Academy together with a colleague of mine, Natia. We will be together presenting virtually our small and modest study on addressing sustainable development goals through project-based learning in the EFL classroom. Let me move to the overview of the presentation, and let me once again highlight that project-based learning has become particularly added value element in our classrooms due to its nature to boost learner autonomy and leading our students to apply the language in actual situation. This can be best achieved by placing the student in the center of the language classroom, and student-centered classes definitely should be focusing on learners' diverse needs and interests. Moreover, they should focus on boosting 21st century skills such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication, which is based on real-life experiences. Therefore, we as instructors of the English language should not only be limited to teaching language, but also should be helping our students to find solutions to the real-life problems. So as for background methodology of the study, this qualitative research explored the views of EFL instructors at the higher educational level in Georgia, which are kind of utilizing PBL to realize major goals of sustainability and to help them achieve a better and more sustainable future for all of us. Responses of the interview revealed that there is a tendency of the part of the participants to disregard integration of sustainable development goals in the classes due to perceived barriers such as fixed curriculum and time limitation, although most consider sustainable development goals as a much needed and natural part of the language education. Now my colleague will talk about literature review part.
Thank you, Tamari. Hello to everyone. Let me continue with the next slide, please. Role of sustainable development. Education plays a very significant role in the context of sustainability. Moreover, education for sustainable development empowers learners to address the interconnected global challenges like this. Definitions of sustainable higher education focus on the different factors that are critical to the continued existence of the institution, the people itself, and the surrounding society. As for SDG and EFL education, the history of sustainable development goals takes its first step in 2012 at the UN conference in Rio de Janeiro. The objective principles were to generate global goals linked to the environmental, political, and economic challenges that we face as humanity. The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by the UN in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030, all people enjoy peace and prosperity. EFL and sustainability. EFL education serves as an effective means for addressing SDGs through exploring topics around the above-mentioned goals. At the same time, we are educators should acknowledge and always remember the central role of education in enhancing the quality of life, which is best addressed by one of SDGs, in particular, quality education. In this regard, due to the growing demand for English globally and locally, and its status as a lingua franca, it offers new opportunities for learners as it greatly contributes to advancing economic status of the families, which will to improve access to healthcare and correspondingly increasing the welfare of its learners. Therefore, quality education, and in our case, English language education, set to achieve SDGs. PBL and EFL education. PBL is a teaching method that encourages students to actively participate in real-world projects that are relevant to their interests and levels. Learners frequently devote a varying amount of time to their projects depending on the topic and goal of the project mission. Each might last from a week to a semester. Learners display what they have acquired by giving an on-site presentation or participating in a synchronous online meeting. PBL is recognized to be a method that permits to incorporate the following 21st century skills into educational process: teamwork, problem solving, communication, including oral presentation. Why PBL? Project-based learning assists students in gaining information about the topic they are studying, which aids in the development of the following abilities in learners: critical thinking, communication, creativity, and in case of teamwork, collaboration. Moreover, PBL could be assumed to be a student-centered learning approach where the role of the teacher and lecturer is a secondary one. The approach advances learners' autonomy and independence positions and learning at the center of the learning process. Project-based learning can be an effective supplement to raising EFL learners' awareness around SDGs and instructing people to have a variety of challenges in order to achieve this goal at the global and local level, where the students can develop their critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity when engaged in solving real-life problems or addressing SDGs before we face them. Tamari, please.
Thank you, Natia. So now let's move to the small study, and which was qualitative in its nature. And this study definitely highlighted basic SDG goals in EFL classroom, and at the same time it was descriptive in its nature. So respondents' answers were analyzed by coding the keywords which were provided by them, interpreting the qualitative counts of the codes. As we see, the study was distributed in an online manner. The following questions were answered by the informants of the study. First of all, what do you understand from project-based learning, PBL? Do you incorporate project-based learning in your classroom? If yes, how? What do you understand from sustainable development goals? To what extent do you believe you include SDGs in your classes? And the last, how applicable would you say PBL is to achieve SDGs in your classroom in foreign language in our case? So let's discuss the results of this qualitative study. And as we see from data obtained, 75% of the respondents were female teachers in Georgia, 25% represented by male ones. And they provided wide range of experience because their teaching experience was quite diverse from 8 years to 20 years. And based on the keywords from provided responses, general understanding of PBL by surveyed teachers is associated with learning around real life situations, exploring real life problems, finding solutions, also inquiry-based learning. They refer to PBL as effective learning, which results in creating a product, group work done for reaching some common goal. Teachers also noted that it is related or characterized by extended term, and of course, it's very effective for gaining life skills and knowledge. So these are major characteristics which were provided by teachers. Based on the respondents of the second question, so the majority of the surveyed teachers also integrate PBL in the classrooms while exploiting different methods, such as some of them are asking their students in order to prepare presentations, blogs, interviews, surveys, or translation, and photographing problematic issues also is quite common in order to present the outcomes of the study project into the class. Some teachers mentioned performing PBL in simulator classes in maritime education and training, which definitely shows its very practical importance and usefulness for employment purposes in our case. And one of the teachers considered it to be necessary to have sufficient language proficiency in order to integrate this method into teaching experience, which is absolutely understandable and definitely makes sense. And as we see from a diversity of responses by teachers, we can identify once again that the following key messages were provided, such as transformation, achieving more, and becoming better together, while speaking 17 goals adopted by the United Nations General Assembly, which means that teachers acknowledge the importance of SDGs for changing the world for the better by educating the learners around the topics addressing these goals. So absolute majority of the respondents once again try to integrate SDGs via authentic materials by going beyond the textbooks, whereas others simply rely on textbooks as they think that this also includes some kind of topic, some problematic issues around SDGs. Also, one teacher agrees that for progress and development, we do need to address sustainable development goals in our teaching practice by demonstrating specific examples and best practices. So these were actually findings of the surveys. And last, All of the respondents highlighted significant role played by PBL for addressing SDG in EFL classroom and its efficient nature. Those they realize that it's a little bit difficult, but at the same time useful, desirable, and essential in the modern world. So at the same time, surveyed teachers note that by addressing SDG, teachers are empowering our learners via English. So which definitely is one of the benefits of this method. And surveyed teachers also are well aware that PBL helps learners to develop 21st century citizens by developing more of our mentioned 24 skills such as communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. So Natia will make conclusion.
Thank you, Tamar. As a conclusion, it will be said that the major changes should take place in the instructor's classroom practices to make a conscious attempt to include topics and content necessary to diversity in the classroom and respond to the ongoing needs of citizens to reach SDGs, and that PBL might be a good method to do that by engaging students in real-world and consequential projects. The study has implications for the service and the service teacher preparation and training institutions to increase the EFL teachers' awareness and skills to shift traditional practices and master creative approaches such as PBL to help students explore and respond to real-world issues and challenges as they advance their language and related knowledge and skills.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your attention. And in case you have any questions, please text mail us to the following email addresses. Wishing you a very productive academic event.
Bye for now. Thank you. Çamur virtüel.